Hi, everybody. Welcome. In this webinar, I'm going to take you through how our best clients, most successful SaaS clients are generating leads. It's really not that complex, but I want to take you through it and have you think about how we actually can work together or how you can help generate more leads for your SaaS business. So as a bit of housekeeping today, what I'd like you to do is just go ahead and find the comment box underneath this video and let me know that you can see me, you can hear me, you can see the screen, all that type of stuff. That'd be really, really helpful, please. Because this is going out live and it's not a normal webinar, it's a LinkedIn Live. I want to make sure that we actually can see what's happening. So if you could just let me know if you can hear me and you can see me, that'd be really great. Okay, well, I'm going to assume it's all going okay. Just give me one more second. If you can see anybody posting their comments. If not, people are a bit shy, that's okay. But yeah, if you can hear me and see me, that's great. You can comment down below. That'd be fantastic. Thank you, John. I was starting to sweat there. Maybe nobody's out there. I'm talking into the abyss. It's always a challenge. Thanks, Angela. That's really great. Oh, good day, Sean. It's right. Perfect. Beautiful. Great. Oh, it's to the right of the video. Okay, perfect. Thanks, everybody. Really appreciate it. Okay, so let's dive into it. Now, first of all, I'm in Queensland. And so let me just move to the next slide. And this is me right now. It's coming in really sideways, and that's going to be us over the next couple of days. So if things sort of blow this way and this stream gets cut off, that's why, because I'm looking at a huge glass window. I can see Service Paradise directly that way, and that little heart in the middle of the screen is my house. So all the best to me. Thanks, everybody. Jandre, g'day, Jandre. How you going? All right, let's carry on. So first of all, let me do a bit of an introduction. There's quite a few people, about 120 people have registered online, and I know that more people will come along throughout the process. Let me just tell you a little bit about me, and then we can dive into it, why I might be a little bit qualified to help you sell more to the right people. So my background, I started my first tech business with my wife. I was 22, she's 21. And over the course of about 15 years, we grew that, we expanded the business, started doing custom software development, delivering products into the marketplace, did about $100 million worth of business over that time, which was very exciting for us. Exited that business, took a year off, lived in Bali and came back. And for the last decade, I've been tipped into various businesses, helping them, technology businesses, helping them with their software sales and marketing processes, not building the software, but their software sales and marketing processes. I started on the strategy side, started doing, and I've always loved sales. I, at one stage during that process, became the CEO of Velocity Selling. We help Fortune 500 companies around the world, mainly in America, grow their sales teams, grow their sales capability across the business. We had a bunch of published books, and we did a lot of travel at that time. In the last couple of years, I recognized that the sales and marketing, I go back to my roots, sales and marketing must work together really, really seamlessly to create a flywheel of success for technology businesses. Because the assets created by marketing need to be deployed by sales. Sales needs to feed that back to marketing. Needs to work in a symbiosis. And so in the last couple of years, we started a marketing agency, went through a few different iterations, trying to dial in exactly how we can really deliver high value to our clients. And now we've got clients who are really experiencing exponential growth simply because the ones that follow our plan, that is. There's plenty of people who get a dog and do the barking themselves. And that's up to them and how quickly they want to grow their business. But if businesses that do follow the process, because really the great thing about sales and marketing is it's all out there in the world. People like me are out there telling you how to do it. It's about the execution. So that's why I do these webinars. These webinars are all about sharing what I'm seeing work right now in the marketplace, and then helping you drive a better and more successful outcome. Because it's not always about getting the most revenue. I know that sounds weird, or acquiring the most number of clients, because not all clients are created equal. And I've seen that over and over again in my own businesses, and of course in my clients' businesses as well. So look, that's who I am. CEO of Tech Talks, but really CEO, Chief Executive Officer of 10 people. That's it's a bit funny to say out loud, but really my job is to find the best way that technology businesses can scale through sales and marketing. Okay, hopefully that gives you some context there. All right then. So let's carry on. So look, let's talk about the problem. Let me get rid of me or move me down to there. So why do most SaaS companies struggle to generate enough leads? And a lot of people talk about product market fit. A lot of people talk about pricing. But really, there's a lot of crap products out there making a lot of money, and there's a lot of really ordinary, poorly built products making a lot of money, and a lot of grandfathered in products. So how do those big companies that are beating you in sales, how are they winning today? Well, they're winning because they've got greater levels of visibility. Let me just make sure that there we go. Greater levels of visibility. You can't sell a secret, as they say in real estate. So not enough people know your company exists. Limited brand building activities. Brand is important, and brand is not just a logo or a color set. A brand is what you stand for. And there's a few existing clients here, like John Dre and Eric and a few other people there. Sorry, not Eric, Sean. A few other people here who've gone through this process and recognize that brand is not, as I say, a logo. It's actually how you position yourself in the market, and you create a values alignment with you and your customers. Because really, most businesses don't actually need 10,000 customers that I talk to. They need 10. One client who's in the chat right now who literally needs 4 clients this year, and that's going to significantly impact their business. And the reason that we talk about that is because those products, of course, are hundreds of thousands of dollars, and we want to make sure that we're really communicating in a narrow way, in a values alignment way, with your perfect target customer. And of course, weak social media and industry presence. I'm sorry, but even though you've built the greatest product in the world or the greatest delivery teams in the world, if you're not out there on social media communicating your value, because what happens is in the world, Google has called it the messy middle. They become aware of you. At least they've got some visibility. They become aware of you. And then they're going to look at your socials. They're going to look at your LinkedIn. They might join up to your newsletter. A lot of people here today have joined because of my newsletter, my LinkedIn newsletter, and my subscribed one on our database. And when people go and look for you, if they can't find you, they're going to find your competition, because the algorithm says, oh, they're looking for somebody in the ERP space. Better go serve them up ERP people. And so you need to create that social media awareness. Now, I'm not saying posting every day like some people do, like me. You don't need to do that. You might need to do it once every couple of days. You need to put out some thoughtful information, but certainly not having to drive it every day. Look, if you've got the time and the interest to do it every day, great. Find the way that works for you. The way that works for me is I run a podcast. I run these webinars every month. I run a podcast every week, and then that all gets chopped up and delivered out on LinkedIn and various other social. So do have a think about what is your path of least resistance? I love that thought, path of least resistance. What's your path of least resistance to get your most amount of information out there into the world? Share your IP. Get paid for execution. That's really the world we live in now. Okay, the second thing is unclear targeting. We can be everything to everybody. And I have conversations with people in the chat, I know, and I spoke with them just last week. They're talking about, we're a broad company. We can do lots of things. I said, that's cool, but how narrow can we get? Because once again, if you got one new client a month, that would blow the doors off the business. We don't need 10,000. We don't need to create 10,000 person marketing messages. We need to create marketing messages so aligned, values alignment, direct line of sight to those customers, that will create enough deals for you in through your pipeline. Obviously, trying to be everything to everybody, and messaging focuses on the features, not the benefits. Yeah, that's cool. You can integrate these two things, but why should I care? What's in it for me? And the third thing is a single lead source. A single lead source is, whether it be referrals or, whether it be or whatever it might be, LinkedIn or any one thing is fine. But the reality is, if you've got more irons in the fire, you're going to have more opportunities. I'll give you an example just from this morning, and I'm sort of rabbiting on here, but you signed up for this. So this morning I spoke. There's a person I refer to for businesses that are very, very early stage, haven't got product market fit yet, haven't got traction yet. If you want to know who that person is, message me and I'll pass you on to Kirk. He's a great guy. I was having a chat to him, and I said, well, how can we create a better outcome for your clients and help more people know about me? And what we did is we created a partnership where I'm going to deliver a client appreciation webinar and create a webinar just for his clients that teaches the specific things that his clients need, like really early stage tech businesses and SaaS businesses. What do they need? Well, they're going to need certainly different things to what a lot of my other clients need who are already in flow, creating business, creating revenue. They need different things, but I still know how to deal with that. I've had a couple of my own startups and I know sales and marketing pretty well. And so we created a partnership there where I deliver massive amounts of value to his clients. And he then said, oh, Matthew, I actually also got a couple of referrals for you. We're going backwards and forwards. I volunteered to do the webinar, host the webinar, run the webinar, write the emails, run the, make sure that all the technology works. My job, if I'm going to ask somebody to become a partner of mine, I need to do all the work. And offering a financial incentive, we didn't even talk about financial incentives because finance sits at probably the third or fourth rung of value alignment. Once again, this talks to value alignment, and Kirk and I are very aligned in values. So we need to create that value alignment. So a single source of leads is really not going to cut it. So currently we're doing LinkedIn outreach, social media posting, giving away lots of free content. We're running paid ads all the time. We are also partnering with people and community and providing lots and lots of free content like this is. So think about how many different things can you do. Make sure they're specific and they're aligned with your customers' values. Talking about that a lot, I know, but I want to make sure it really hits home for you. Okay, let's keep going. So we're going to talk about the 4 main key areas. If you've joined a webinar of mine before, that's great. These haven't changed, and they haven't changed because they're still true. The 4 key areas are, first of all, knowing your target market. We've talked about that already, but it's not just knowing the name, rank, and serial number. It's not just knowing the demographics of them, but the psychographics of your best fit client. Once again, that values alignment. The second part is your circle of influence. How can you get more people to know who you are? And that's what this conversation today is all about, is building that circle of influence. How do we get more people to know who we are? If you've got that's why influencers are out there. That's why influencers are important. I don't know how very many of you would get people to do a TikTok dance, for example, but there's going to be influencers in your space that you can speak with. People who are a couple of steps in front of you in your journey, or a couple of steps in front of the journey of your clients that you can have a conversation with and create some relationship there. The more people that know who you are and know what you do, the more effective your everything's going to be. Your ad costs will come down. Your number of leads will increase. Your cut through, your open rates will increase. The more people that know who you are, the more they trust you. Because as I've said in previous webinars as well, your business can only grow at the speed in which you can build and transfer trust. And what does trust look like in the real world? It's referrals, it's testimonials, it's Google reviews. That's why the cafe around the corner here works every time I go for a coffee. They tap your phone to make a little Google review. They've got hundreds and hundreds of Google reviews. People go, "Where's a good coffee shop in Benoa?" They go, "Oh, it's there." Because so think about how you can build trust. Google knows that trust is one of the most important things. You should know it as well. The trust that you provide. So when you're selling, you need to demonstrate or communicate about why other people trust you and the value that you deliver consistently over time. All right. The third part is your relationships. Once they know who you are, then you need to build that relationship. Obviously, more build on that trust. Make sure there's a value alignment once again, and you've also been able to nurture those people through a process. And the fourth part is creating an offer that it creates a no-brainer situation, a low-risk situation, a way in which you can work with the customer, understanding who the customer is. We've got. We're going to make sure that there is a huge level of ease and simplicity when it comes to your offer. You don't just want to buy my thing now. Today, probably deleted half a dozen messages from people on LinkedIn who I connected with, and then I get pitch slapped. We can do all of these things in PHP and all the, we're the best in the world. We have great levels of customer satisfaction and service. I don't trust them. I deleted those messages. They might be the greatest developers and IT support people in the world. I don't care, and I don't want to know them because they have no trust with me. I want to refer people that I trust, and that's why I do that very sparingly, simply because it's my reputation on the line. Why would I refer? I got approached by another business this week. who said, "Oh, can you be a referral partner?" I said, "I only refer businesses that I either use or I have a deep connection with." So that's, once again, once it builds that trust, if I'm going to make offers to my database. Excuse me. Pardon me. Okay, let's carry on. So the thing is, not everybody is your customer. I do talk about Seth Godin a lot. If you want to read a great marketing book, it's called The Purple Cow. It's about standing out. It's about being different. The general premise is, you probably all heard it, but if you're driving past a bunch of cows, nobody's going to comment on that. But if there's a purple one in the field, you're telling the people at your destination, "Did you know there's a purple cow in the field?" And that type of brain, a connection in your mind, is going to create a connection with your customers as well. You need to be able to find a way to stand out, to be different, to be interesting. Many of you are on my email list. If you're not, let me know. We'll get you on your email list. The more I am myself, the less serious I am when it comes to my emails, the more people engage with me, and it's actually a better community. I'm finding my people who sort of get it, who get me. All right. So this is how most people talk about their target marketing: industry, size, and location. We work with transport companies with more than 500 people in South Australia. Cool. But really, and what the work I've done with some people in the comments here, who I know, is we've created a value alignment. How do we create that value alignment? We talk about their role. What problems are they dealing with in their role? What values do they have? We talked about that already a lot. And of course, how do they behave? It's all well and good to say they're a certain way, but how do they actually behave? Once again, value statements and company values often are in a little frame on the left-hand side as you walk in through the front door. Very, very dusty. Nobody's read it in the last 6 months. It's pretty much up there. I did a podcast with a chap last year who every single meeting starts with the values. And guess what? That business is scaling. That business is going really well, and everybody's completely aligned. And if there's something out of alignment, that gets to be managed really quickly. And it's a 2-minute conversation. It's called leadership. It's just a one extra thing that he does every single time that is required to make sure his business is going in the direction he chooses. So that's what I want you to think about. Now, here's a worksheet. I'm going to make that full screen so you can have a look at it. Actually, if you want, so I've got 5 tools that I help people really go through, really define their clients, get really clear about who they want. And so, if you want to receive the tools, just type in tools in the chat, and I'll make sure that my team gets you those tools delivered to you. So those tools will give you examples like this, worked examples, and then you can go ahead and fill these in for yourself with your own team. So just type in tools in the chat, and my team will get that to you. So really what we're talking about here is what makes a client truly best fit for you. Before you can chart your roadmap, you need to identify the types of clients who will get you there. Not just in terms of revenue, but alignment in your business values. Your best fit clients are those whose challenges you can solve effectively, profitably, and with a strong mutual connection. There are clients you enjoy working with, who value your expertise, who create long-term sustainable growth for your business. It's not about who pays you the most. It's about who you want to work with. So these are the types of things that we think about. The examples here is short sales cycle. Why are they a short sales cycle? If you've got customers out there who buy from you quickly, phone them up and ask them why and how and what was the motivator and how did that work. And you actually can find out a hell of a lot of information about people by just asking them. Whenever I have a client who's a little bit vague on these, we engage with the team, which we've done with some people, and also we engage with clients. Why did you buy? Oh, and because the client's going to give you a top level answer, a best product, service, blah blah blah. And then you go one layer deeper. How do they make you feel through the process? Oh, I really love Jandre. He's a fantastic guy. Oh, Sean was like this and he came out and saw us in Roma and blah, blah, blah. So these are the things that create that alignment. You go, they want that connection. These are the little secrets that sits inside your sales process you might not see. And if you can then say to a new customer, you can create a aspirational positioning. I'm just taking a sip of my coffee. Aspirational positioning of our best clients are ones that are innovation driven. Our best clients are results outcome focused, and our best clients are decision and action taking type of people. Because what we're trying to do is create an aspirational positioning of your product, your service is aspirational. Oh, because nobody wants to say that they're not innovation driven, they're not collaborative, they're not decisive. But what happens is a lot of people become not those things through the sales process because they think that they need to drag the chain on these things. So lots of you asked for the tools. Very happy to send those to you. Also, by the way, if you hang around to the end, there's also a bit of a bonus. There's a couple of bonuses at the end I want to share with you. So just hang around to the end as well, and I'll make sure you get those as well. Okay, so that's the tools. I've got a half a dozen of those. Helps you go through that. I do send those out to you. More than happy to. Second thing is your circle of influence. And I know that I do talk about people who are really crushing it at the moment. Obviously, Gary Vaynerchuk. If you've not heard of Gary Vaynerchuk, very quickly started in his father's wine shop. Dropped out did very, very poorly in school. His father had a bottle shop. He started doing wine tastings on YouTube when it first came out. Ran a show, Wine Library TV. Grew that. Got onto Conan O'Brien as the wine guy, and of course, the rest is history. He now runs a marketing agency teaching other people how to do this. It's worth about almost $1 billion. That agency, about 600, 800 million US dollars at the moment. So in our dollars, about $1 billion. And so what he says, the number one asset for any business and entrepreneur is personal brand is attention. Attention. He's just written a book, which I've read, called Day Trading Attention. It's about getting the attention of your target customer, because that attention can be transferred. So think about, and he likes to swear, you're absolutely right. We want to make sure that we're getting the right attention for people. And we also recognize that the people getting paid the most today, music, sports, social media influencers, what do they all have in common? They've got your attention. And so, we want to make sure what we want to do for ourselves is we can personal brand, Matthew White brand, the Logan Trowers brand. It doesn't really matter. We need to make sure there's a brand of you, because there's only one of you, and then you can grow your business that way through driving that forward. I've got MatthewWhite.com. Of course, that kicks you directly to the Tech Talk website, but MatthewWhite.com. I've got business cards that I've got with MatthewWhite.com on it. There's always going to be that brand underlying whatever business that I run or start. And as I've said quite often to people, is the only reason you don't have enough sales is not enough people know about you. Simple as that. More people know about you, more money you'll make. All right, let's carry on. So what we do now is we teach our clients to do two main things. This is what works for our clients to generate leads and sales. They create free content. Costs $0 to create free content. Well, it costs time and energy. And if you're low on dollars, you need to be high on time. You need to spend the time generating that. And with AI at the moment, with outsourcing and resourcing availability, it is very, very cheap to do that. Having said that, you still need to have some professional eye look over it, because but what I'm seeing at the moment is a absolute tsunami of very crap content going out there. So you really still need to make sure it's a values alignment, it's a personality alignment, it's a brand alignment when it comes to what content you send out there. So for me, my content, I've already talked about what I do, the podcast, the webinars, and that all gets broken up and sent out. What's your path of least resistance to produce free content? Now, it's not just free, because and free doesn't have any value. It needs to be useful. It needs to be valuable. You need to hone in on your target customers' problems, what's keeping them awake at night. Hone in deeply and narrowly on that, and then talk to that issue. Solve their problems. Give away your IP. Your mental IP, the IP that they can go on ChatGPT for anyway. So give away that stuff and package it up in a nice way. Package it in a way that helps them create a result for themselves, because then they'll build that trust. With that trust and that exposure, now they might like one of your things, they come back and see it over and over again. And as the trust rises, their likelihood of buying from you also rises. And if you want to jump the queue, you run paid ads. And so if whether you're money or time, you want to run paid ads, you can run paid ads. And that is there's a really effective way for a lot of our clients to generate leads. I run paid ads. Quite a few of my other clients run paid ads. It's not perfect for everybody. If you've got a really niche product and you know exactly who they are, we can build a database and we can target them directly, communicate one-to-one. And that's what we're doing for some of the clients in the chat here today. So this is the really important stuff here: is create free content and run paid ads. It's not that hard. It's easy to say. It's more difficult to do. So when it comes to all of this, you need to think about how you can get more paddles in the water. And what I mean by more paddles, I'm talking about being able to doing a few more things and testing out, go broader and broader. Like what I talked about with the partner webinar. I'm going to do all the work, and maybe some work will come back towards me. Also, how else can we serve our customers? I always start with a service. Always start with any type of conversation about service. Free content, service. Free downloads, service. It's always about helping people and solving a problem. You solve a real problem. If you don't solve a real problem, your business, probably not in business, or you're not going to be in business for long. So talk about that problem that you solve and how you elegantly solve it, and the people that you've solved it for. And you do that in multiple different ways. You can do it on a podcast. You can do it in written. You can do it with video testimonials. You can do it I'm going to show you. There's a whole bunch of ways to do that. Here they are. Make me there, and I will do this. There we go. I'll get rid of me completely. So once again, I'm breaking all the rules of running a webinar, because my goal here is just to deliver the maximum amount of value to you in the shortest amount of time. Once again, screenshot this. Actually, what you could do is, if you want to grab these slides rather than getting screenshots and they sort of get out of hand, just type into the chat slides, and I'll send you the slides as well. And because then you can just use this and start ticking stuff off. But really, if you go through these 1 to 9 educational webinars, highest ROI, in the dark, I've actually marked out the ones that I like doing the most. So highest ROI, return on investment. The cost is zero. Sorry, I'm using a streaming thing. Cost me $19 a month, and my brain power. The biggest tip for running a webinar, the biggest tip for running a webinar is actually book it in at the beginning of the month. So you're forced to actually deliver it at the end of the month. Now, February's webinar didn't happen because I was at a conference all last week. That's why the February webinar is happening in March. So sorry for the confusion there, but I do webinars all the time. So run a webinar, costs you a bit of time. Downloadable ebooks and guides, run scalable via ads. Once you've got some people who go, that's a really cool piece of content, then you can run ads to it. Then you can tell more people about it. The algorithm will do the work. The algorithm is way smarter than you and me. Facebook and Google own about 90% of the ads traffic out there in the world, because they're pretty good at it. So why not give them the ability to find your clients for you? Obviously. So do that. Templates and checklists. I'll show you an example of this. I can show you some examples during the rest of this webinar of the templates and checklists. Give away a checklist. I have a checklist for running really great case studies, because it was basically our internal checklist that I put a bit of graphic design around, and Bob's your uncle. There you go. You've got a new piece of content that you can share with people. Because once again, a checklist, it already exists in my business, and I guarantee you, g'day Terry, I guarantee you that every single person in the conversation today has templates, checklists, processes, diagrams, flow charts, things that make your business run. You could actually share that with your customer, because sharing that with your customer is actually going to help them do their job. Now, if they don't buy from you because you shared with them a workflow, well, they're probably not going to pay you for that anyway, because really the magic is in the delivery and the execution. Same as, I've got a shed full of tools out the back. Doesn't make me a good carpenter. Actually, I'm a pretty ordinary one. So I want you to think about that. I'm not going to go through all of these. You can read, take the screenshot. A bunch of people asking for the slides. Great. So let's go back here. So I really want you to think about that is how you're going to get out there and how you're going to speak to more people. But it's the most important, well, not the most important, because everything's important, but what's really important is making sure that you really understand your clients' problems. You really understand their problems and where they're coming from. Well, some of the best businesses that I've worked with have actually solved their own problem. They're drinking their own Kool-Aid, so to speak. They recognize the problem. They went out there and solved, and they went, oh, this is a pretty cool solution. We're solving it for ourselves. Why don't we solve it for other people? So this is what I do for my marketing. We have new marketing ideas, new AIs come along, all of this sort of stuff. I use it, and if it's good, I tell my clients about it, or we create one, we do something with it. And so, marketing channels, There's content distribution. We try these things. If they don't work, I'm not going to recommend it to people. So you need to understand your client, what problem they're going through, really, really deeply. So this is the process I want you to go through. First of all, high impact relevant content. So important. High impact relevant content is going to give you the best opportunity to really drive that connection with your clients. Lead magnets. Lead magnets work. And anybody who says, oh, lead magnets are old hat, well, you know what? You don't know what marketing looks like, because there are giant businesses out there like King Kong who all they do is create a lead magnet and run ads to it. And they charge, $50,000 for that activity. And they're making a lot of money. They're servicing a lot of businesses. I can't comment on their success. I haven't used them, but they are really they're out there selling a lot to a lot of people. So lead magnet and running ads to that is very, very effective. And then, of course, distributing it. You've got to get it on the right platforms. So what does a lead magnet look like? You could probably, and I'm sort of sometimes teaching to or singing to the choir, but I want you to really think about this. What is it? So here's some examples that we've created in the last 12 months. So Australian Builder's Guide for Profitable Growth. Oh, well, I'm an Australian builder. I need profitable growth. I'm going to read that. And this company, we spent a lot of time really thinking deeply about how we can deliver really interesting, useful insights for these people. What problems do charities have? Well, they need fundraising tactics for high growth charities. What are those 10 fundraising tactics? Give them an ebook about that. Essential 8 compliance self-assessment checklist. A checklist for this client who was doing Essential 8, which is a security thing. So what in your business, take a moment in your business to think about, what could you do? How could you deliver? What value could you deliver to your clients right now? Is it the 5 ways that this can be solved to that, or the ways that, maybe your customers are transport people, maybe they are, maybe they're losing stock. Well, then you could probably produce a document that says that the 3 ways that transport companies are losing millions of dollars a year in stock and what to do about it. You send it out to transport companies who are losing like that. Once again, it's super narrow, but by delivering that super narrow thing, that one person is going to say, I'm having it. I saw Sean in here earlier. I talk about Sean a lot because we helped him and I like him. And so with him, he wrote a really, really great message to a CFO. I won't say what type of business it is, but he wrote a really great message to a CFO talking about, hey, we're doing a case study. I know the times are tough and you always need to do more with less, which is every CFO and CIO's problem anyway. So, but because he spoke specifically to that person, he said, do you want to see this case study? They said, yes. And here's an introduction to the CEO. And we helped them make that sale. We changed the sales process, of course. Think about a testimonial about that later. But it's about making sure you really understand the client's issues. He said that message 1-to-1, really narrow, made that sale. So once again, many of you are in a position where one extra sale a month is going to make a significant difference to your bottom line, certainly in the B2B world. Another example of value, a checklist. This is something that we built that we ask clients to go through when they're actually creating and trying to think about how they can trying to think about their sales and marketing. And what we did is we actually looked at those 4 key areas, which I talked about earlier: target market, et cetera, et cetera. What are the 4 key areas? We went through those, and then we put some AI behind it. Person makes to write some answers into there. AI reviews it and then goes, okay, you scored X% on each one of these areas, and here's your next action step. Here's what you can do. So if you want to get my brain poured into a bit of AI and a bit of documentation, go in there, type in scorecard.techtalk.co, go through that, spend 2 minutes filling out those surveys questions, and you'll get an email back with exactly what you need to do next. It's pretty cool. And this is this is about providing value at the beginning of the relationship. It's about front loading the value. And if you can front load the value enough, you build that trust. The person goes, this guy knows what he's talking about, or this girl knows what they're talking about. Let's talk about how do we work with more? How do we work with them more in the future? All right, let's carry on. Some results. Here's Sean's results here. So Sean says, I helped him change the sales process, and helped him really narrow down those target clients, and we helped him get about $2 million worth of new business in the first 3 months of our engagement together. Second part there, I'll get rid of me because I'm covering up some of the results there. There's another client. before coming along and working with us, this is paid advertising. So this is free content. This is paid content, right? So the top one's free and the bottom one's paid. And the results there is that before working with us, this customer generated 32 leads. Let's look at the second line down, which is cost per lead, costing him $31 a lead or $24 a lead. After working with us, we redid the document, redid the offer, and what that created is $8 a lead and $5 a lead. And what that did is significantly improved their throughput, significantly improved their throughput with their sales. Okay, so I just want to share that with you. It's really important to know that you might have tried these things in the past. You might have tried doing free content. You might have tried doing paid advertising. You might have tried doing partnerships. There are ways and means to do these things, and there's always if you've got the attitude, you can always learn more. You can always be better. There are always ways of thinking. Now, I'm a voracious reader of everything, of marketing books. I've got the Ogilvy marketing book. I've just finished this one here, which is $100 Million Leads by Alex Hormozi. If you don't know who Alex Hormozi is, he has go on YouTube. You won't miss him. He's the guy that talked about putting out a lot of free content. He puts out so much free content, it's not funny. I think he says, I heard an interview with him on the Diary of the CEO last week. He puts out 450 pieces of content a month, which is a lot more than what we do. But, excuse me, I'm just going to take a sip of my coffee. Oh, that's cold. But what he does is he started as a gym rat, as a gym owner, and started to grow the business. He's worth now, I think he's worth about $500 million now, and he's younger than us. Well, not younger, certainly younger than me. This is what he looks like. And so he's certainly not trying to pretend to be anybody he's not. And this is actually out of his book there. This is the core four he talks about. He now does acquisitions. He acquires other companies and helps them grow. And this is what he says. At the top level, you got one-to-one. You can do warm outreach or cold outreach. So warm outreach, LinkedIn connections, people that you know, your database. You can communicate with these people who know you. People who don't know you, cold outreach. You can run cold email, cold messaging. You can send DMs, all this type of stuff. And if you don't have any money, he says do 100 a day. Do 100 warm outreach, do 100 cold outreach a day, and your business will look completely different in 6 months' time. Because it's true. I did this when I first came back from living in Bali. I had a couple of gigs with various consulting firms going into their businesses to fix up sales and marketing issues. But then also, once you've done those conversations, there's not a lot to do. So I actually started doing warm outreach to my existing friends, family, people I've worked with in the past. Hey, I'm back in Australia. We went through the process, did some warm outreach. Then I started doing some cold outreach. I started to build a LinkedIn following. I've got almost 14,000 people on LinkedIn now. So those sort of concerted, continuous, recurring efforts do create results. Now, if you want to go to one to public, post free content, obviously, and then run paid ads. When you find content that works, when you find content that over indexes in a particular way, you'll be able to run paid ads to that, and you'll find incredible results from that. So look, as we wrap up, I want to make sure that you've got some value out of today. If there are any questions, you can start putting them into the chat here. It's not the greatest way of doing questions and answers. So if you don't put the questions in there, you can always DM me, ask those questions directly. But let's just do a quick review. First of all, the four impact areas for your business. I'll get rid of me so you can see it fully. So first of all, your target market. Really know your target market and get narrow. If you've got a broad range of products, broad range of services, find the one you want to actually sell and go and narrow down and sell that. Marketing is not a permanent tattoo. Marketing can be changed at any time. And if you exhaust the market, let's say you're a basketball hoop seller, and then you just go after everybody who might want to buy a basketball hoop in Ashmore. And then once you've targeted everybody in Ashmore, then you can go to Benoa. Then you go to Southport. You can continue to change who you target. You can continue to change your marketing message over time until you find the thing that works. That's key. Then you want to grow as your circle of influence. Obscurity is your enemy. build your relationships, make sure you're emailing and communicating with those people, making sure people trust and know and like you. And of course, making easy offers, making ways for people to engage with you in a way that makes sense. Now, let me just go through the core 8 that I talk about. So there's oops, there we go. There's 8 areas that I call the blueprint that we follow when working with a client. Now, we can't always deploy all of these elements, but we want to make sure that these things are available, and we make sure that this is communicated really, really strongly. And so let's get into that. I'll get rid of me again so you can see full screen. Right. So first of all, what we've already talked about is really understanding your target market. This is all going to be in one screen. As I said, you can take a screenshot, say, put slides in there, and I'll send you the slides because it's all in one place then. The second part is create high impact content. Obviously, really important. Develop content that directly addresses your buyers' pain points, providing value, positioning your solutions as the answer. Third part, lead magnets. Lead magnets work. Anybody saying they don't work is not in, yes, I don't know what they're doing, but they absolutely work. I went to a conference last week, a lot of conversations about marketing, from some of the best marketers in Australia. We had a talk from a person who now runs a $400 million gym business, another person who runs a $100 million wine business. There was a huge organizations there, really, really great speakers, and they still talking about generating high impact content, generating lead magnets, communicating with the client, knowing your target market really well, all this sort of stuff. This is not new. It just needs to be done well. Distribution, organic and paid. Talked about that already, whether it be free content and paid content. Retargeting. You get somebody in your system. If you get somebody in your system, you're going to then be able to re-engage with them, communicate with them, follow them around the internet with advertising, communicate with them on Facebook or communicate with them on LinkedIn. If you create a lead on Facebook, well, then go find them on LinkedIn and connect with them there. Multi-channel is so important. Now, retargeting is not just the electronic version where Google talks about retargeting. The really important stuff here is making sure a customer sees you across multiple platforms. SEO and SEM. The reason SEO and SEM is so far down the list is because it takes the longest to do, and most of my clients are looking for that sugar hit. Most of my clients are looking for something to be solved in the next 12 months and sooner than that. SEO and SEM, important, but boy, oh boy, it takes a long time. Unless, of course, Google Ads sit in that SEM, search engine marketing part, but that is a bottom of the funnel activity. People need to be typing in ERP systems for transport businesses, and then you show up. Great, and that's a load. But then once again, you'll be in a bake-off situation. You'll be in a situation where somebody is competing and comparing you. Of course, if you've got particular value, you've been around a really long time, you've got some really great testimonials you can share, and you're a price leader, then you might be able to win in that SEM world. Search engine marketing, SEO, put blogs out, put out lots of content, you'll be found. Once again, that helps with when you actually build a personal brand. Build your network. Partner with industry influencers to participate in relevant communities. It seems so obvious, but think about it. How do you talk to more people? Who sells to your clients? Like I did with that chap earlier today, is how can I help him look good in the eyes of his customers? How can I help him look good in the eyes of his customers? What value can I deliver? And once again, gets me in front of them. And the last thing is optimize. Once you've done that, you start turning the dials. Marketing becomes there's a lot of art in marketing, but then also you start turning the dials, you start tweaking things, you start you're making sure your distribution works better, your retargeting does more, your SEM works better, you build your network, you communicate with different people. This is the optimization, is continually monitor and optimize. I spoke with a chap the other day who runs more than a dozen variations of more than 24 variations of every single advert he puts out there. And he's spending a lot of money on Facebook, of course, but dozens and dozens of iterations of Facebook and Google advertising. And you know what? The algorithm does the work, finds the one that works, distributes that, because really the algorithm wants you to win. Google and Facebook want you to win. They want you to win by delivering you more clients so you spend more money on their marketing. As soon as we find marketing that's working, my next comment to the customer is, can you handle more clients? Great, let's spend more money. Because if we can make $1 equal 2 or 3, obviously the goal is to make $1 equal 3. If we can do that, it's just a matter of how many $1 you can put in. And that's what Facebook and Google want from you. They want you to win so they can get more of your money. Sounds a bit mercenary, but that's the world we live in. Okay, so bonus time. Thank you for hanging around, everybody. Bonus time is we've built this ebook called How to Double Your Marketing ROI. Quick fixes for the top 6 frustrations. So the top 6 frustrations are low quality web leads, falling email responses. You get traffic, but no conversions. You're spending money, but low quality leads. Low collateral engagement, so they're not engaging with your content, and lousy overall marketing ROI. So there are ways that it's this ebook. Type an ebook into the comments, and we'll send it to you. And so if you want that ebook, we'll make sure you get that. What that's going to do is going to give you a breakdown of how that works. Now, it has got some of our old branding on it, but the content is still absolutely up to date. So just type an ebook there, and we'll make sure that gets to you. So that's a bonus there for you. The whole goal of that is to teach you what you need to know, give you that opportunity to really understand exactly what you've got to do. It's a bit of a checklist as well. Okay, so we'll carry on. Second bonus is if you felt that there's been value in this conversation today, if you feel that that there's some areas in your business that you could be doing better when it comes to sales and marketing, and also if you're busy running your business and you don't necessarily have the time to do all of these things, well, it might be time to engage with somebody like our business that can actually do the work for you, who can actually help you achieve the outcomes you're trying to achieve. And so in this, in here, what we've got is I'm happy to do a Focus Finder workshop for you. Spend time going through your process. I'm going to use the format or the blueprint I showed you earlier, which is those 8 steps. Give you some tweaks, give you some ideas, and of course, if it makes sense for us to work together, we'll agree on that. But really, this whole this Focus Finder workshop, it's 45 minutes. Sales marketing review. If you want to put in Focus Finder into the comments, I'm getting you to put a lot of comments in today, aren't I? If you put Focus Finder in the comments, well, my team will organize a time for us to have a chat, and we'll go through that. There's no obligation for you to buy. Obviously, if it makes sense for us to work together, we'll agree on that, and we will. But really, what a lot of people have said coming out of this Focus Finder workshop is they say that I've looked through the process. They've got, oh, there's the bit. Change this. What about these words over here? Have you considered doing this one? Have you considered doing that? So because I've got exposure to hundreds and hundreds of businesses over the course of the last couple of years, your business won't be, unfortunately, I'm sorry to tell you, but your business is not that unique. I'll probably have an idea or 3 about exactly what you can do to create that change. So just type in Focus Finder. Thanks, Michael. I'll make sure our team reaches out to you. We'll do that. Ladies and gentlemen, that's the webinar. That's my time up. The cyclone has continued to batter my windows here. Hopefully you haven't been too annoyed by the sound. It's pretty loud here, but I think my microphone works pretty well. We'll see how we go. I'll make sure my team get you those documents and the slides and the ebooks and the tools and all that type of stuff. We'll get that all out to you in the next couple of days. My team isn't here on the Gold Coast, so they'll be just doing all the distribution, all the work. I'm going to go and maybe tape my windows or something. Thanks very much, everybody. Really appreciate your time and spending time with me today. I recognize the value of your time, and if I can help in any way, a lot of people who have grabbed one of those Focus Finders, I still speak to you. They might not be customers. I'm more than happy to work you through whatever issues that you've got. Talking to people is what I love doing. Any administration, as my clients in the the list here will tell you, admin is not my strong suit. Thank goodness I've got a really good team to do that. I'm talking to you, Sean. I'm not great at admin, mate. So thanks very much, ladies and gentlemen. Really appreciate your time. Talk to you soon. Bye for now.